If you have energy in the wrong hands, it becomes a cost. In the hands of the wrong person, electricity will be used to electrocute people. The treasure in the treasure base is not the oil beneath the treasure base. Everything that turns oil and gas and energy to useful use is in the head of the people. We can turn sunlight to electricity.
This is the Energy and Maritime Roundtable right here on channel 142 Go TV on RSTV. Every Tuesday at this time from 10 to 11 a.m. in the morning, we bring you interesting stories in the trending world of maritime and energy. These days, no exception. My name is Martin Giadom, your usual anchor, and we're discussing the fallout or spillover of last edition of the program, which has to do with energy. And today, we promise we are going to bring some interesting guests that will be throwing more light on the sector. You know how important the energy transition is to Nigeria's economy, a 1 trillion economy Nigerian government intends to build. And that has led us to where we are today. But we should be adding more value to the energy sector, where we should be also talking about the housing project in River State, housing sector actually. On today's edition of the program, not alone, with usual guest, the editor, the regional editor of the Business Day newspaper. His name is Ignatius Chuku. I call him IG. IG, how are you this morning?
I'm fine, my dear. I am fine. So, how are you?
Happy to meet you once again.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You could have seen a very brand new face on the program. He is not a new person to a lot of us, but to you, probably you see him for the first time. He is the mayor of housing. Mayor of housing. Mai is China. He's the one who's bringing dimension to the housing sector in the Niger Delta. Mai is China. What a pleasure having you this morning.
Thank you very much, Martin. Thank you, IG.
Two of us are bloody with herbs.
Yeah.
IG is to remain the bullheaded man. I would like to remain bullheaded like you, but today I am still wearing my usual traditional Niger Delta cap. Is it a Niger Delta cap?
The senior's cap.
Yeah, senior
Papa's
boss cap.
Yes, Papa's cap.
My East China is always a young, happening person. He's impacted much in the housing sector in River State, and he's still doing much of that. He's somebody who's transverse, built so much synergy with the government of River State, built so much synergy with communities in River State to bring in sanity in the housing sector in River State. We shall be coming back to him, but for now, we tell you that we take some breathing space to take the new segment where we tell you that the River State House of Assembly has invited one of those companies to appear before it to answer questions. And I also want to tell you that we hear that Halliburton has dropped some waste, what you call industrial waste, in Bogo community, entire local government area. Disposal of that waste, we hear, should be continued some couple of days to come. And the Energy Roundtable, the Energy and Maritime Reporters of Nigeria, and of course, the media in River State is forthright, is focused, and we shall be giving you updates on that summon by the River State House of Assembly. We are very impressed with what has happened, that the Assembly is beginning to pick up from the pieces and doing the needful. We are very grateful. But in Bile, the oil leak remains. Energy and Maritime have written in Nozra, and Nozra has requested that they are going to meet with us. When we get that feedback, we will give you on the roundtable, IG.
Yeah, today is loaded. Especially what's happening, and that will be an aspect at the bottom, where they are trying to dispose what they call explosives.
Okay.
So the IAC Nigeria has also reacted, saying that there should be EIA on it, environmental impact assessment of disposal of explosives
Okay.
in the area and lead conditions. So it's good that organizations are becoming aware of things happening around them. And so before you carry out, let me tell you what happened in Germany one day. A Nigerian was, after graduating he went for first degree, went to master's, doctorate. When he was coming, then newspapers he used to buy and read to know about Nigeria. He used to read many Nigerian newspapers. He wanted to burn it. And there you must apply and get permission to burn even your own newspapers.
Wow.
So he applied and they did not approve it. He made second application, they did not approve it. To burn your own newspapers, I'm going home. You sweep your house very well, clean up everywhere to meet standards. Now let me burn these newspapers. Approval was difficult. And the conditions for burning it were difficult. The man now sealed it and they took it to the airport and carried it to Nigeria to come and burn.
Wow.
So you see, you may not see much in saying Harry Button wants to dispose their explosives, and an environment organization is saying, follow due process.
Okay.
So we are beginning to wake up. So it's a good development.
And those due processes are not just bureaucracy.
Okay.
They are not just legislature.
Okay.
They are actually responsibilities.
Okay.
The environmental responsibility the world has found out is that you must protect the environment in a sustainable way,
Okay.
that this generation will use this environment and leave it for the next, because we didn't create the environment, we met the environment. The least we can do is to leave it. We can't leave it better. The target is to leave the environment better than you met it. But if you can't leave it better, you should at least leave it as you met it and not leave it worse. So even housing projects,
Okay.
for instance, our flagship project, the Alessa Island Sustainable Green Smart City, we had to do an extensive environmental impact assessment
That's good.
by the Ministry of Environment. And they gave the report on that assessment is over 200 pages because it was very comprehensive.
Okay.
And one will wonder, why is this man trying to just build houses, just house? Now today we begin build house. Why is he going for this? It's because any little impact that housing project will have negatively on the environment will affect the next generation of 1,000 years. So that responsibility of making sure that the rules are followed, the rules are maintained, everybody in the environment is a watchdog of the environment.
Okay.
It's not just about rules, it's a responsibility.
I'm it's not just happy, but a bit excited to hear that this is coming from a housing merchant, because in those projects our mayor is doing, with what he said, we will ask him those questions of what is the ecological impact of it on the society. We wouldn't bother to ask, but we will
Exactly.
come back
Yes.
to ask maybe of the green city.
Good.
More of the green city, because the green city is what you are just speaking about.
Yes.
And it must be interesting that he is building a green city in Port Harcourt, unless precisely where we will ask him those questions, because it has to do with the energy. He has to use green energy to give us a green city.
Yeah.
This is the program, the Energy and Maritime Round Table. It's called the EMR Round Table, brought to you from the Energy and Maritime Reporters of Nigeria on RSTV. We're broadcasting from different platforms. You could always reach us. Maybe the studio could lead us to those platforms. Exciting programming coming from the Niger Delta. Yes, you remember we promised you we're going to bring you actualities, even from the Kensaro Wiwa, what do you call it, memorial city, town, where community members were complaining. We promise we are going to go there. We promise we will do that. We will actually give you actualities, because journalism is not about sitting in the live studios. It's not about reaching out. And so we will have eyewitness reports, and we will try to give you updates from the community of Ken Saro-Wiwa, where his kinsmen complained of neglect. They said Hyprep is not engaging the kinsmen of Ken Saro-Wiwa. And now we hear that Pogo community have had issues of industrial waste being dumped in their community. We're talking about billet gas field, and you could talk about the assembly coming back, inviting this oil company to come in to explaining things. The point is that we are going to be giving you actualities. We will go there, we will give you pictures, and that's what we do in the energy and maritime reporters. If we don't go there, we probably will be giving you live, of course, personalities who will be speaking it by themselves. Also, I promised you that we're going to be bringing the people from Hyprep to reacting, to talking to us on what they've done in trying to reach out to Ken Saro-Wiwa community. Ken Saro-Wiwa community is called Bani in Kana local government area, and we're hearing that no single project is being cited there. We're going to reach out to that community. Are they themselves ready for projects? Because in Niger Delta we have people complaining, and when the time comes, even a piece of their land will be an issue. We should be bringing Hyprep to talking to us. We know of the Center of Excellence being put together by Hyprep. We know of the medical health intervention in the entire Ogoni, in the 4 local government in Ogoni by Hyprep. We know of the water project being done by Hyprep. We know of the power project that is about to start by Hyprep in the Ogoni axis of River State. And what we want to ask is, what about Bani community? Is important because that's where the sage, Ken Saro-Wiwa, the environmentalist, hails from. We should be giving you update on that. Back to actualities in the live studios. We should be giving you issues concerning the green city, issues concerning the energy transition, and we're having the person who should answer that question. We will be asking him, behind him, the mayor of housing. Mayor is China. You said in earlier editions that the future of River State does not lie in the oil and gas resources, but in these people. Could you relate this vis-a-vis the green city you are on putting up in River State?
Before we talk about the green city, energy is the soul, skeleton,
Okay.
and marrow
Energy.
of economics.
Okay.
And it is human beings that expend energy. It is human beings that transform energy.
Okay.
It is human beings that add value to energy. It is human beings that turn energy into useful use. If you have energy in the wrong hands, it becomes a curse. It's like one of the most popular energy in the world is electricity.
Okay.
In the hands of a good person, electricity can be used to give you light, can be used to power your television, power your refrigerator, power your air conditioning, and give you comfort, convenience,
Okay.
and even security. But in the hands of the wrong person, there's the greatest execution equipment of the US is called an electric chair.
Okay.
In the hands of the wrong person, electricity will be used to electrocute people. It's the same electricity. It has no disposition whether on what you use it to do. So the same thing goes for oil and gas.
Okay.
The treasure in the treasure base is not the oil beneath the treasure base.
Okay.
The treasure of the treasure base is the people
Okay.
in the treasure base, because everything that turns oil and gas and energy to useful use is in the head of the people.
Okay.
It is the people that will know the importance of adding value to the crude energy.
Okay.
It is the people that adds value to energy. For instance, the transition from fossil energy to green energy is being debated in the world because it's a matter of responsibility.
Okay.
Just like Mr. IG has said initially, burning newspaper might seem so common. Even if you want to refine petroleum, how do you do it without destroying the economy?
Okay.
It is a human being that will think that responsibility of saying this is the right way
To do it.
to do it, and this is the right law to protect to do it. And it is human beings within the environment that will form the network of vigilant nexus to say they are not doing what they are supposed to do, we no agree, and that will be done. It is the entrepreneurial human beings that will say, oh, we can turn sunlight to electricity. It is the entrepreneurial development of the human beings that will show that we have other green ways of using this thing to be more responsible and profitable. Irresponsibility of human beings believes that the only way to drive profit from energy and fossil energy resources is an irresponsible way. But a thinking human being will tell you that there's a responsible way to still do that thing and still get profit. So the irresponsible way, the bonfire, the wrong way, harms the environment, introduces health hazards and all that is, but there's a responsible way. It is only when the people are developed that they find a responsible way. So the people of the Niger Delta, the people of River State, and the people of Port Harcourt are more important than the oil in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
And originally, Port Harcourt was not known as the oil city.
Okay.
Port Harcourt was known as the garden city.
That's quite true.
Who nurtures the garden?
That's quite true.
Who nurtures the garden?
Human beings.
Human beings.
the-
Who plants the garden?
The residents,
Who beautifies the garden?
the government.
Who announces the garden to the world?
The people.
Human beings. So it is the people that is the most critical factor in the energy sector. And that is why the deregulation of energy to allow people to modularize energy is the government attempt to allow more people participate in energy, because the more people responsibly participate in the generation, distribution and use of energy, the more the society becomes better for it. And one of the most popular energy is electricity. Without proper use of electric, you won't have a city. Because when you use electric properly in the city, you can call it electricity.
We get.
What we are doing sometimes is electric village.
We get that your narrative from electric to city. But when you drive us too much into electric and city, because you are more interested in city,
Yes.
building a modern city for
high city. Before I ask my veteran journalists here, the point that resources, the oil and gas resources, is not the
crude oil.
The crude oil is not the feature of the state, but that the human beings. Does that tells us something, that there should be a gap between the resource inherent here and the capacity of the human beings to driving it to success? Have we been able to measure that gap over the time? The Minister of Petroleum was here over the gas host guy. He has to come through a lot of shouting. Are we using the human resource to developing the natural resource that we have here?
It ties hand back to the same thing,
Okay.
that there must be a balance between resources available to a person and the capacity of the individuals that own it.
Okay.
In a lot of places, it's even dangerous to leave a lot of physical property and money for your child.
Okay.
Some people are even scared of that. If resources or treasure available to a child or to your children, if it's far bigger than their brain to manage it, they may even kill them, or you even put them in danger. So it will even happen. So if you don't have the capacity to manage it, to use it, to know what to hide and what to show, so you might attract danger. And the outsiders, many places in the world today have been, some Aboriginal people have been driven away and overtaken by outsiders. In those 18th century, 17th century, those world global trotters, anywhere they found plenty of resources, they mobilize and drive away the original owners. So you see, if you want your legacy to survive, if you want your state, if you want your society to do well, to survive, pay a lot of attention to human capacity, human capital development.
Okay.
So that when the people are developed, they are equipped to think and plan. They will also plan protection. So processing the resources that are available to you to transform to other uses, being able to face competition, because whatever you are doing here, some other person is also doing it in another environment. So there will be competition. So protection, competition, processing, and all these things are handled by a developed human capacity.
So let me give you this simple analogy. Let's bring it down to the common man.
Okay.
If corn is a resource, and let's assume it wasn't farmed, it naturally grows. If you live in an area where corn naturally grows, who should be the best experts for harvesting corn? Is it the people that live in the corn area or foreigners?
The people that live
Should
in
be the people around.
Who should be the best expert for roasting and boiling the corn? Is it the people in the corn area or foreigners?
The people in the area.
Who should be the best processor of corn to agidi and pap? Is it the people in the corn area or foreigners?
The people in the area.
Who should even be the best corn eater in the world? Is it the people that have corn in the corn area or foreigners that do not know corn?
Naturally, the producers.
Good. So we have natural resources in Africa generally and in the oil and gas. If anybody should know those natural resources and be an expert, it should be us. If anybody should know how to process them and be an expert, it should be us. If anybody should know how to deploy them and add value to them, it should be us. Before we even go to the superlative level of outsourcing it to a third party, we should know it well enough that because we know how to roast corn, we'll ask somebody else to roast corn for us. If he doesn't roast it well, we will know. But if the human capacity and capital for roasting corn was not developed, we don't even know what roasted corn looks like. We don't even know what they use to roast corn. We don't know how much to take and roast corn. Somebody can take our corn and tell us to roast corn is 5 million per corn. We don't know. We'll believe him, and then he'll be making more money from our corn than us that knows the corn. And we won't know because we are blind to corn. So it's like walking on gold and being poor. The poverty is not the lack of gold. The poverty is lack of knowledge to process the gold under your feet. And it is people and capacity that will process and roast the corn.
The message is being passed this morning. Very straight, sincere message to us in the Niger Delta, not just in Rivers State, that the prosperity of Rivers State does not lie in the oil and gas. I cannot repeat myself. The message is a special message to us in the Niger Delta that the prosperity in the state does not lie in oil and gas. That's the quote of the mayor of housing. And I tend to believe with him because he has embarked on a lot of humanitarian, should I call it that, engagement. Let me not put it humanitarian, some engagement project. I don't want to take him there. It's a big project he's been doing. I've been attending some of them. But this morning, focusing on energy and the green city that he is putting up in Alessa. Can you keep us updated?
Beautiful. So now we have learnt about energy and that one of the most popular energy is electricity. And that no city that does not harness electricity is truly a city. We are building a green, smart, sustainable city that is going to responsibly use energy to transform how we live. And one of the most underrated natural energy that people underrate is the energy of plants. So in this estate, we are making sure that plants are abundant in that estate. You see, nature has it such that in places where there is high carbon emissions, for instance, if you see in the creeks where oil is found, you also see these mangrove trees and mangrove green vegetation. Those vegetations are there because they absorb any carbon dioxide that might be coming out from the activities of the carbon energy that is below the earth, so that it balances it. And human beings and plants are also like that. Human beings breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, while plants breathe in carbon dioxide and bring up oxygen.
Yes.
So if you want to simplify it, one person is supposed to have one tree in their life, so that all the carbon emitted by that one person is absorbed by that one tree,
Okay.
and all the oxygen needed by that one person is produced by that one tree.
Okay.
So in a place where we have the three of us and we don't have three, we're already creating a negative energy oxygen balance and a positive carbon dioxide balance. And carbon is what causes most of the pollution in the world. So this green city is a zero carbon city and a zero emission city, where we have more trees than human beings. Normal estate is an estate of human beings with trees interfaced among the human living.
Okay.
This Alessa Sustainable Green Smart City is an estate of trees with human beings interfaced into the trees. And the trees will have what we call integrated horticulture, trees for food, trees for medicine, and trees for beauty, so that everything you need is around your house. And do you know that trees purify the air? Apart from bringing out oxygen, they dedust the air and they debris the air. If there's any debris in the air and there are trees, the leaves of the trees and the branches of the trees will filter those debris. So the air coming into the estate is filtered by a green wall of trees. That's the plant level. At the energy level, we are not using any energy system that brings out carbon dioxide.
Okay.
All our energy are carbon-free energy.
Okay.
So we are using hydrogen power for our electricity. The hydrogen power ensures that there is no carbon emission. The two byproduct of hydrogen power plant is oxygen and hydrogen, and both of them are green gases.
Okay.
Our cooking gases will be produced on the site. Our biogas will be harvested from our bio waste for both the cooking and the gas. Oxygen will be produced there. And then the electricity, because it is green and the stock product of that hydrogen plant is water, to be the first estate in Nigeria that produces power that is cheaper than NEPA.
Okay.
So the hydrogen will be what powers that place. Then the new rave of the world is two things: solar and electric vehicles.
Okay.
Africa has more sunlight than we need. Over-sun is worrying Africa. So we should be at the forefront of leading the solar revolution by capturing that sunlight and converting it to electricity. So in that estate, we have a free solar electric vehicle charging station for residents, because carbon cars are not allowed to enter into the estate. There's a parking space where you visit the estate, you park your fuel car, you enter our electric shuttle that is zero emissions into the estate. Then those living in the estate are incentivized to buy electric vehicles by giving them free electricity using a solar charging station for their cars, so that there is an incentive for you to change from fuel to electric. Then for the community, we are the most responsible company in terms of corporate social responsibility, that 10% of this project allocation, not just profit, because 10% profit share means when we are profitable, maybe in 20, 30 or 20, whatever, we'll start giving them 10%. No, this is 10% resource allocation, that if we want to do road with 10,000 naira, 1,000 goes to the community for corporate social responsibility. And we've already started that at the land acquisition stage.
Okay.
And then we are building a mall there that will be the new city center, the new village square, let me use that word. You know, our villages always have a square where we gather. So the mall will be the new village square where we gather. But more than that, it will have a village market, a section of the mall where our aboriginal landowners can sell their tomatoes and pepper within the mall, and they don't pay rent because they are the Aboriginal landowners. That's part of the 10% CSR. And all this is going to be embedded with high technology. That's why it's called a green smart city.
Okay.
The technology is that there will be technology for security, there will be CCTV, there will be voice prompt, there will be fingerprint opening, and a lot of tech automation that will now make it a modern but an ancient village house with enough trees that makes it like a village, but with a modern technology that makes it contemporary. And that's the green smart city. And the energy footprint we are trying to do will extend beyond the estate and spill into the community. Part of the areas around the estate will still gain from the energy output will be put in there.
Exciting explanation. And we can't wait to live in this green city environment. Where is it located? And at what stage are you in this project?
Okay, it is located in the new Transwoji Road that connects Pitodeli to the Refinery Road. That new road and the new bridge. It's located along that road on the lesser part of the road. The road has two sections, the little part and the lesser part. We are on the lesser part and we're in partnership with the lesser community. We're in partnership with the River State Investment Promotion Agency. We're in partnership, ongoing partnership with the Ministry of Environment and Ministry of Tourism, because the place will be a tourist site that people will come and look at. And the stage we are in now is we're just rounding up the land acquisition stage, because we had to do a very comprehensive land acquisition that involved the Community Development Committee, the Land Development Committee, the Council of Chiefs, and the government, so that everybody will be involved. The last stage we are in is that the Environmental Impact Assessment report just came out. It is that Environmental Impact Assessment report that the global community will now give us permission, like the UN Habitat, to now start the construction of that project, because whatever we are doing, we must report to the community, the state, and the world through the UN Habitat. So our environmental impact assessment just came out this June, and we are now mobilizing resources to go into both the community settlement, the final settlement of all stakeholders, and then we will now submit the blueprint to the local government for approval, and we'll now start. But before we submit to the local government, we have to go to the UN Habitat and our international stakeholders to get their approval, because we are building both. We are in this project, we are internationally very local. We are building a very local green smart city, but according to international standards with international stakeholders. So we must always at each stage make sure that both the international people are satisfied and the local people are satisfied, because responsibility is that whatever you want to bring into any location must have indigenous adaptation, seamless indigenous adaptation. If you buy this phone and it's the best thing to happen to Rivers people, if you don't integrate it, orientate Rivers people and to how this will benefit them, and have a seamless adaptation, this phone coming into Rivers State might cause crisis. It might be a good thing, but if you don't do your adaptation process very well, it might cause indigenous crisis. So we are taking that painstaking diligence to ensure that the process of this beautiful thing entering our beautiful community is seamless. So the first thing we are doing is we are doing a lot of orientation to bring the green city into the heart of the indigenes first. It must enter their heart before it enters the land.
Interesting. It must enter the
heart of the
people before it just enter the land. Interesting. This is the program, the EMR Roundtable. We're discussing energy and the housing sector. Energy vis-a-vis the housing sector. We told you how the energy, what you call the oil and the energy sector could be used to improving on the housing sector, because the energy sector has to do with the housing sector have to imbibe the culture and decency from the energy perspective, and that is called that is why the mayor of housing is telling us about the green city this morning. But How any Rivers person listening to us this morning would like to know about something very important which has to do with land grabbing. Land grabbing have been persistent or have been reoccurring, has been in the news of late. Mayor of Housing, how do we stop land grabbing? You are a major investor in the housing project in the River State, Niger Delta. You are already called the merchant of housing, now the mayor of housing. How do we stop land grabbing right here in the city?
Already, we are already setting a template that if the state can copy and magnify, it will solve the land grabbing problem. It's a simple template in 1 minute. This simple template is this. Anything you want to do in the world, some people have done it, just copy and paste. So land administration, one of the best is Abuja, the AGIS, Abuja Geographic Information System, has captured all the land in Abuja, has a seamless registration system through the local government or what they call the Abuja councils and the AGIS authority, so that if you want to buy a land, you just go to this authority, everything has been done. For River State to do that, there are already 5 structures that must align and are already aligning in 11 local government. The first structure is the Community Development Committee. They must ratify and verify all lands within their territorial territory. Using the boundary system. You already know that if this is a lesser committee, you know where lesser boundaries lie.
Yeah, we'll come back to you. We'll take a short break on the program, the EMR roundtable, where we come back to you. Of course, you know that on the roundtable, we give you issues from the energy and the maritime subsectors. We live here on RSTV. We'll be back to you. Jiffy, give us 2 minutes and we'll be right back. My name is Martins Giadam. I'm right on set this morning with the regional editor of the Business Day with our guest, the Mayor of Housing. Just stay with us.
River State, the home for all, an epitome of Nigeria's diversity. River State, where life flows like a river, blessed with abundant human and natural resources. Let's give peace a chance. A people united by different cultural values, where love flourishes. Say no to violence. In love and unity, our dreams shall come true. Together, let's build a peaceful and prosperous River State. Shun violent crime. Report any suspicious or criminal activities to security. For a brighter today and tomorrow, let's embrace the peace.
Our government is committed to building bridges of friendship and peace as a social contract. Join the Peace Initiative. Blessed are the peacemakers. They shall be called the children of God.
RSTV, your source for authentic coverage.
Will you want to live in a green city? I'm itching very desperately to be in the green city with my natural cap. I should be going to buy Odara from that market.
Imagine when you have a palm tree in your estate and you have a palm wine tapper in your estate, and you can drink fresh palm wine from the estate. And research has also shown that just looking at green plants elongates your life.
Interesting. And
so let's continue with the land grabbing.
The journalist himself, and you've seen the nitty-gritty of what the energy resource can transform into in the Niger Delta. Talking about the energy vis-a-vis the housing project, do you think it is apt, very timely? Because the hue and cry is that we should legislate what they call it, rates in Port Harcourt. The deficit in housing, may you have not told us, is massive. So how do we speed up the project, the housing projects in River State to to supplement what the River State government is doing? Federal government, I don't think they're doing much, but what the River State government is doing?
Well, the mayor of Hazun was trying to address one issue when he was talking before the break came. And that issue was on land grabbing. You raised it as a sensitive matter, and you asked him to explain how land grabbing can be reduced. Even if you ask me, if I were to be the anchor, I would even put it to him to say, are you a land grabber?
Big question. This is a round table. There's no anchor. It's a round table. So the round table is a 3-man anchor.
Let him exhaust.
There are 5 authorities that
that.
if they align and do what we call land cataloging and land administration, land grabbing can be ended this week.
Okay.
And the Eleme local government has set a very beautiful precedent.
Okay.
A lesser community where we are building has set a very beautiful precedent.
Okay.
These 5 authorities are the 5 different authorities that are involved in land ratification.
Okay.
Before you buy a land, there is a community level of authority called the Community Development Committee.
Okay.
They must catalog all lands within their community. There's no community in River State too big for the paramount ruler, the king, and the CDC to know their boundaries and landowners.
Okay.
Foreigners don't own lands. Aboriginal owners are from that community. So they must know that OKK family owns 10 plus there.
Okay.
So the CDC must catalog all their lands. And before you buy any land in any community, you must get clarification and clearance from the CDC.
Okay.
The next is the Palace of the King. Kings are the original custodians of land, and that's why rent is called royalty. The king must also verify what the CDC is doing, so that in case we have a corrupt CDC government, the king will call them to order.
Okay.
So every land you buy in any community in River State that has a king, you must have clearance from the king. The third is what Eleme local government has just done. They've come in to stop land grabbers and asked us that are the valid developers to come and get clarification and clearance from the local government. After all, it is the local government that has development control. It is them that have development approval. So before you even buy a land, you should know what the land use is. If it's a commercial land, you are not supposed to build a house on it.
Okay.
If it's a residential land, you are not supposed to turn. So every land has a purpose. And when these 3 authorities align, you can't buy land without clearing from these 3 people. You can't enter the community without clearing from these 3 people. Any fraudulent person won't want to go there. And then they make it a crime in River State for any Aboriginal landowner or family to sell land more than once to more than one customer. Then these 3 will now shift your documentation to Surveyor General's Office and Ministry of Land. When these 5 align, now is a simple process. I want to buy Martin's land in Alessa. Martin shows me that this land is his land.
Okay.
I go to CDC. Martin showed me this survey that is his land. Is this his land? They say yes. Is it clear to sell? Yes. They will stamp it. I take it to the Palace of the King. Is this land clear? CDC told me it's Martin's land. They will say yes. They will stamp it.
Okay.
I take it to the local government. Is this land, these 2 people say this land belongs to Martins. They stamp it. And then give me this stamps document to now take to Surveyor General's Office to survey the land in my name. Okay. And then come back and do a deed of conveyance with Martins.
Okay.
After I do the deed of conveyance, which is very important, I go back to the Surveyor General's Office and say, we've done the deed of conveyance, which will be stamped by these 3 people. And they will now register the land in the Surveyor General's office as Mayor's land. From Martins has sold to Mayor. The new owner is Mayor. And then transmit it to the Ministry of Lands, where all this will now be in their database that this Aboriginal land owned by Martin's family was sold to Mayor of Housing. Mayor is the new owner, and then I'll register that deed and start to process my land rent and CFO. Tomorrow, if anybody wants to come and buy that Martin's land that does not consult the mayor of housing, Mr. Chukwu comes and say he wants to buy the same land, and the CDC find out, they'll say it's fraud. Don't buy, meet mayor. If Martin's family wants to sell the same land they have sold to mayor, because that's where the root of the problem starts, to another person, buyer, the CDC will arrest Martins, the king will approve, they will send him to the police, from the police he'll go to prison. No other family will want to try reselling land twice. And everybody that wants to buy land knows that if these three people certify this land, at the community level, you have CDC, you have the king, you have the local government. At the state level, you have Surveyor General's office and Ministry of Lands. And then there's even little revenue generation avenue for all these authorities. An investor will prefer to pay 10,000 naira for a committee to verify the land he wants to buy, for his 10 million naira to be protected, than to go and lose 10 million naira.
Exactly.
So if each of these verification process, the state can turn it into revenue production for both the community. Land verification is 10,000. Imagine if those inquiries get revenues at the Surveyor General's office, Ministry of Land, CDC. They will create enough revenue to do some things in terms of infrastructure.
Interesting scenario, interesting model that is being developed here by the. No wonder you are called the mayor of housing.
I want to say something.
Good.
I know why I returned the matter to mayor of housing.
Okay.
To lay down the canvas upon which land grabbing can be fought against.
Yes.
Now, coming from the point of reporters as well, people who are always in the field, the issue is that there is much hue and cry in the society, especially in Rivers State, of somebody will buy land, think he has bought land, everybody, no complaint will come. Before you know it, one group will come and they bulldoze all the buildings that are coming up, bulldoze them and all of that, and nothing will happen. So the example, the model mayor is setting on the table for Rivers State, I like as he has commended Eleme, both at the local ordinary level and at the local government level, that what the local government chairman is coming out to do is good. It will favor those who are following due process, and it will make it difficult for those who are going through the back door. Let me tell you, people like, when you hear meet this one, people think it is better to meet only one person, buy and go. It is easy to deceive you, but when you have multiple layers of authority, you see that all of them cannot lie at the center. So it's to the benefit of the buyer to follow due process as mayor is laying down. So, but what we are saying is that the government should encourage this process. The state government should encourage this process. Local governments should come in, monarchs should come in to reduce the buy land and they take it from you. Buy land that they take it from you. All the young men in where I live who bought land at Irebe, they are all crying today. Sometimes every day they will kill somebody. The next time they kill the man who sold the land to you. A youth will come and sell land to anybody, and it makes it look as if we are living in the primitive age.
Exactly.
So when the state can intervene.
And all this process, you might think, is in manual operations. It might look cumbersome and complex. In digital operation, one computer by the CDC will interface with the king and the CDC. The same computer already sent the signal to the local government, already sent the signal to the state, so that before you come, all you need is you stamp your paper electronically has been transmitted to the state. By the time you get to the surveyor's office, your paper is smiling at you with your passport in it, showing that you are the owner. It makes land administration stress-free, seamless, and fraud-free. Frauds people like to go behind and meet one person. The authorities can clear that in one day.
We can recommend you as a consultant in the estate and the housing sector in River State, especially in River State and Niger Delta, we can actually reverse. And that is why we brought you here, because we promised we're going to bring strategists and specialists in the energy sector. But we've improved on that. We brought somebody who's spoken to us on what we could do alternating the energy sector. The energy sector, we've been told, is not this prosperity. The prosperity of River State is not only in the oil and gas that we have, but in our people and in the housing sector. Our people improving on all fronts. Mayor of Housing, it's a pleasure to having you with us this morning on the round table. We wish you have the opportunity to do this your campaign for sanity in the housing investment sector in Rivers Estate investment sector in River State. You've lectured on this morning. It's a pleasure having you and hoping that the Surveyor General, Minister of Urban Development, the community, and all stakeholders cue into some of these things so that everything will be harmonized in the interest of a no noisy environment that we have today in River State, talking about land grabbing and attacks and a kind of bad negative impression that is coming from River State. It's a pleasure having you this morning.
Thank you very much, Martin.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much, IG.
Yeah, thank you very much.
IG has always lent remember, this is a round table. Sometimes we take the point of an anchor. It's not an anchor program. We will make it as lively as possible, allowing the guest even is an anchor. This is the program. Ignacio Chukwu, we've just told you, IG we call him, is a resource base for the program. My name is Martins Giadom from the Energy and Maritime Reporters of Nigeria, beat reporters of the NUJ. Will continue to do our bit to follow up the trending issues in the maritime energy sector in River State. If we're not able to give you live report, like we told you, you know our challenge. Our challenge is logistics. How can you provide logistics for us? That you could do by sponsoring this program, reaching out to RSTV, reaching out to us in the energy and maritime reporters in River State. We need a minibus to take us to Bani. We need a minibus to take us to Bile. We need a minibus to take us to Pogo. We need a minibus to take us these places because we don't have a helicopter. IG, do we have one? Oh, you lent Mayor helicopter will take us there.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to having us this morning. Exciting edition. We'll be here next Tuesday to taking us in another edition of the program. For now, it's back from us. Bye for now.
The world is out of balance. It's slipping towards disaster.
Nigeria is one of the great nations of Africa, oil-rich, teeming with wildlife, and home to diverse peoples and cultures.
Inputs key players to fashion out ways to diversify its economy.
We focus, among others, on education, health, agriculture, politics, environmental issues, and remote development.
RSTV.
We traverse